in the chat, hold up the heart reaction button. If you are loving the boot camp, loving it. Yeah. Woo! That's what I'd like to see. Lots of fire, lots of love, lots of hearts. Love you all back. It's perfect. Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. And we're going to continue with the excitement and day 3. Look, if you're watching us live on Facebook, that means that you see me right up here. Come on over and join us by going to NowSite.online. NowSite.online. If you have to keep me in your pocket because you are at work, I need to whisper. That's okay. Keep me in there too. We want to hear from you though. Drop us comments. If you are watching the recording, now's the time for all of us live to wave to everyone. Wave to everyone who's watching the recording. Hi, everybody. We love you guys too. Awesome. All right, let's get started with day 3 of the BrandMe Bootcamp. If you are here for the bootcamp, guess what? You're in the right place. Enjoy. If you are eligible for the $39 rebate, if you're not sure what that is, that's okay. Put your earmuffs on. But if you are eligible for the $39 rebate, you will fill in your code within 72 hours at brandme.now.site. This brandme.now.site holds more than just those code words. Every recording is there, every presentation, every workbook is there for you guys to come and follow along with us and download so that you have them. So make sure that you use that asset and go to brandme.now.site. We do have a new customer offer that ends on Friday. Friday, that's it. It's over. Okay. We are giving away online ad credits and a discount. So if you are a new customer, now's the time to get started. It ends Friday. That's it. It's over. Our NowSite Unlimited monthly plan is discounted at 60% off. When you use code 39, you will get it for just $39 a month, and that price will be locked in for a year, and you'll also get $100 in online ad credits. If you take advantage of our annual plan, you'll get 67% off the entire year when you use code 390, right? You can get it for just $390, but you'll also get an online ad credit of $500. This offer ends Friday. If you're an affiliate, make sure that you are sharing it. You will also get $50 in online ad credits just for sharing this offer when you get a new customer, and new customers can take advantage of this offer until Friday. But that's not all. Like I was saying, welcome to the BrandMe Bootcamp. We have an amazing speaker lineup for you all here today. And so far during this bootcamp, you've heard from me, but today you have the opportunity to hear from our VP of Business Development, Adrian Chenault. He has been a pleasure to get to know. He's become one of my great friends. He's awesome, and I can't say enough great things about Adrian and working side by side with him. Thank you so much, Adrian, for being an amazing partner. We also have, I gave him the drum roll, the charming, the network marketing legend, Tom Chenault, with us here today to share with you all our day 3. Give them a huge round of applause. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on over to these brilliant gentlemen now.
Hello, Mr. Network Marketing Legend.
Okay, I'm already mad. Number one, if I'm such a legend, how come I'm 4th on the list? Right? You saw that. Okay, so that's number one. Number 2, I am not a network marketing legend. I'm not. I swear to you guys, I am not. This is a branding boot camp. My job is network marketing, and I'm really good at it because I've been doing it for 30 years. That's my job. My passion in my life, I'm a recovering alcoholic. That's my passion. That's another category of me. And the third category is NowSite AI. That is my monomaniacal obsession. But you can't label me for any of those things. What I am is the greatest thing going. My name is Tom Chenault, and I'm all of those. But I'm going to tell you one thing right now. I am Tom Chenault. and you cannot duplicate that. You've got to find your own vision of you, and those are what you do, but they are not what you are. And what I try to do in every area of my life is have everything completely play in to who I am as a human being. So am I really, really good at network marketing? Heck yes. Am I really good at helping people quit drinking and doing drugs? Heck yes. Am I unbelievably great at NowSite.ai? Oh my God in heaven. What I'm telling you is be you doing that. Don't be that. Because anybody can steal that from you, but they can't steal the great you. So that's why I'm telling you, don't call me a network marketing ledger and call me Tom. Bang, bang.
All right. How's that for a start? This is so much fun. So I want to talk to you about what to expect over the coming 8 days, because the lineup and everything that we have coming your way is going to be phenomenal. Today, we're talking about how important is branding, and we wouldn't really be doing this if the answer wasn't, it's very important. So more on that in a second. And you can see all the amazing stuff that we have coming up in the next few days. We'll have an announcement at the end. We've got a different time for our live event in Las Vegas on Friday. We'll talk about that at the end, but just put a little pin in that so you know that it's going to be a little different, because we're going to have a live studio audience in Las Vegas. That's going to be amazing. And we're so excited to share that with you. And those of you who are going to be in town are going to be in for a very special treat. But we've got an amazing lineup coming up for you over the next several days. So get ready, get excited.
So when you get to Vegas, I know I'm going to be able to read all of your minds. And what you're going to be thinking is, I didn't realize he was so thin. So that's going to be awesome. And because I just promise you, because I'm just telling you one thing right now, you never know how short, how this, how that is from Zoom. But when you get to that room and sit there eyeball to eyeball and you see the person for who they really are, and I can't wait to meet all of you, it's going to be awesome. And what was so funny is Adrian at the beginning of this was sitting here just like this. And I'm going, man, you seem a little nervous. He goes, I'm always nervous on anything you are helping with me with, Dad, because it's going to get messed up. So here's the deal. Expect that, and let's have some fun, and here we go.
The direct quote was, if there is a plan and you are a part of it, I am nervous. If there's no plan, cool, we'll riff. If there's a plan, the plan is off the rails already. So we're going to have some fun, I promise. All right, so we're going to show you today why your personal brand is so important. And it is. And what my dad said to start this thing off hits the nail on the head. You are not NowSite. You are not your network marketing company. You are not your past. You are not your kids. You are not any of those things. You are you. And that is your opportunity. That's your responsibility. And that's your destiny in this world. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is helping you to get clearer and into action, showing the uniqueness of you to the world. So what is a brand really about? Where does brand even come from, right? Well, you might know where a brand comes from, right? A brand has, yeah, so thank God we're not going to do this kind of brand on you, right? But brands have been used literally for centuries because they quickly communicate information. And that is why that terminology makes so much sense, is because this allows someone to be able to instantly identify and recognize you, even if they're looking from a distance. Even if there might be somebody who looks a little bit like you out there, your brand is what is going to distinguish you in the world. And we're going to help you to do that more clearly, because you can see, right? Those brands, they're not like 5,000 things. They're not in true color. They're not three-dimensional. Your brand has to be simple so that people can recognize you and know what to expect. And we're going to talk about that consistency and the fact that less is more. You're going to see how to do that and how to build on the amazing content and concepts that you received on day 1 and day 2 and crystallize those into something that makes total sense to you and is easy for you to follow along with.
I don't care if you wear that sandwich board that your company wants you to wear everywhere, with all the buttons and all that jazz, as long as your personal brand shines brighter, and it's going to come from within. So just concentrate on having them look at that instead of it, because you are truly the answer to the whole deal. They can join any company, they can join your company among millions of people, but they can't join you. Make them know that through your brand.
Amen to that. And this is the thing, right? You may be posting online, you may be posting stuff from your company, you may be posting all kinds of stuff, but here's a really important question. Are you allowing yourself to be seen? Are you allowing you to be visible out there in the marketplace, out there on social media? Or are you hiding? Are you not letting yourself be seen and you're trying to hide in the crowd? You're trying to hide behind
The sandwich board.
Whatever it is. Raise your hand if you're ADD, like me, and you're frantically searching for where's Waldo in that picture. So I'm gonna relieve the tension for you. Waldo's right there. Okay. So if you're hiding and you're like, where the hell is Waldo? There's Waldo. Sorry, I'm a occasional cusser, but there's Waldo. Okay. So in order for your brand called you to start working for you, you have to allow yourself to be seen. And I've got good news and bad news for you. That is true whether you're the world's biggest extrovert or the world's shyest introvert. And I have a big reveal for you, a deep, dark secret that you may not even believe in a moment when I tell it to you, which is that I am about to hand over to the world's shyest introvert, Tom Chenault.
I am a Myers-Briggs, that test, I've been in so much trouble drinking that they always send me to the psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist looks at the test, then they look at me, then they look at the test, and they just can't believe their eyes. And I go, it's true. And they go, what? I go, I am a closet introvert. And I promise all of you that I had to develop who I am in the world right now because I was invisible. And I hated invisible, but I was. And so I was hiding always in plain sight. And I had to figure out how to put light on this brand called me. And I did it. And what we're trying to teach you guys today is how to be bigger than the fact that you're wired as an extrovert or as an introvert. I know, because I'm that. And I always want to be those introverts. And I mean, those extroverts. And I go to the parties and I'm hugging the wall. I don't want to dance. I don't want to do anything. I want to be invisible, but I really don't. And I had to figure out a way to do it. And I learned it from him and a lot of people. And that's just being bigger than my fear. And what we're going to do today is teach you how to do that, because I know there's a little Eric Worre. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He's one of the biggest introverts I know. Rob Sperry, introvert. The biggest people got through that. So every one of you can do the same thing, I promise you.
So I want to share a couple of stories to illustrate that. I'm going to have Tom share one in a minute, but I want to share a story for my friend Tony. And she actually may be on here today.
Breland.
So if she's on here, all the better. So Tony, if you hand Tony a microphone, she's the sweetest woman on earth, but that microphone is like the water of the Wicked Witch of the West, right? Yeah. She's so sweet, but she's just going to melt. And she knows that about herself. And what I love about Tony is that she did not allow that to be the thing that stopped her from allowing her light to shine. And she figured out that how she was going to allow her light to be shining is that she was going to become the visual content creator for her upline, for her network marketing company, for the field within her organization. And she creates all of these beautiful promotional images and squares, and she puts her name, she signs them like an artist in the bottom corner of everything. And she has allowed herself to become known in that little niche, and she's done the same thing in other areas of her life as well. And so it is not a one-size-fits-all equation. Find how you let your light shine and be seen based on who you are and what you love and what your strengths are and what you feel like your current limitations are. And those limitations are going to melt away over time, but start from where you are. And you've had we call it the Legacy Leadership show now. It started as the Home-Based Business Radio show, and it's had a few other names between here and there. And you have had that thing for 15 years, and you've made quite a name for yourself, but you did not start off as the world's foremost expert in home-based business. How did that happen?
So he just asked me a question I wasn't prepared for, but it's a pretty cool question. A guy owed me money and couldn't pay me. And here I am, this introvert. And he said, I'll never be able to pay you. I want to give you a radio show. So I said, fine. So I get this guy that's an extrovert to help me on the radio show. But it turns out he's like the most inappropriate person you've ever met in your life. And here I am with this huge radio show, and I'm on there with him, and I know he's going to get us arrested. So I kick him to the curb, and now it's just me on the radio. And you cannot believe how many people are listening in their cars, and they're literally falling asleep because I'm so boring, and they're running into embankments. And I go, I've got to figure out how to change this because so many people are listening because it's such a huge pedestal. And my introvertness had me believing I was such a small statue on that pedestal. So I went to Barnes and Noble and I started going through all the books that were the best sellers. And I found all the Rich Dad books. And at the back, there was a phone number for Mona Gambetta. And Mona Gambetta is the president of Rich Dad. And I call her on the phone because I'm just tired of people getting in wrecks. And I'm tired of being so doggone boring. And I said, Mona, I want to interview Kim Kiyosaki and Robert Kiyosaki. She goes, so does everybody, pal. And I go, well, that's good, but I'm not everybody. I want to interview them. She says, you've got to interview all the advisors first. And I go, well, who are all the advisors? Garrett Sutton, all these household names. I go, you mean you want me to interview one of those people in a row until I get to Robert and Kim, and you're going to let me interview Robert and Kim? And she said, yes. And that started my career because all of a sudden we got this big pedestal called the show, all these listeners, this little tiny statue called Tom Chenault, and here's Garrett Sutton, much bigger statue, 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 Robert Kiyosaki, Donald Trump, Mark Victor Hansen, you name it, Bob Bodine, everybody you can possibly imagine on my show. So what happened? Pedestal is the same, huge statue's the same, but what happened to Tom Chenault? The statue grew by association. My brand grew by association. Those people all gave me their influence, which made me look good. And all of a sudden, not deservedly, I am looked at as a peer to those people by virtue of association. And all of you can do that. Nothing changed. I just hung around with people better than me. And it just worked out, and I figured out my own gift, which was basically this crazy gravelly voice that people can't really ignore, and my steadfast belief in myself. And I hooked up with those people, and they just made me look good, which is what's going to happen to you with your own personal brand instead of branding somebody else or something else. Too long an answer?
A beautiful answer.
All right.
That's perfect.
Good.
All right. So now it's time to turn the focus and turn the spotlight to you. What is your brand today? I want you to take a second and I want you to think about that. Based on the way you are showing up in the world, what is your brand today? And some of you are going to say, I don't have a brand. And I'm going to tell you that even if you're not showing up, you still have a brand. You're not in control of that brand. You might not like that brand, but you have a brand because there's always something that others perceive about you. And the question is whether you are going to get intentional about shaping that narrative or whether you're going to be passive and sit back. And so we're going to help you in a moment to begin to assess that question a little bit more clearly. And then we're going to help you to start really shaping it.
Can I talk a minute? Okay, sorry. So, as you guys know, I'm a messed up individual. We talked about the psychiatrist early. So my life has been going to AA meetings every day for the last 12,000 days in a row. I go every day. And what I see people doing is reinventing history to make themselves the victim until such point that they do the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, and then they reinvent their story to make themselves the hero. And what I want you guys to do is know that your past is your past is your past. But your past is your past is your past is not your enemy. It is literally your best friend because it's your unique story that no one else has. And if you look at all the great hero stories that Cheryl Coco talked about, every one of them have this compelling story, no arms, no legs, homelessness, all that stuff. There's lots of people that live in that victim story. And then there's people that change that dialogue. They reinvent history to make themselves the hero, even though it hasn't happened yet, and the rest is history. Please do that.
Amen. Amen. So let's assess where you are now. We got a couple activities and exercises for you. And if you printed off your workbook ahead of time, or you can take some notes now and you can put them in your workbook later, we're going to do a couple of things. And so we're going to take you through how to do this. And then this is going to be your assignment to do after the session today. So the first one is I want you to go to your most active social media platform. And I want you to go to your profile and scroll through your most recent 20 posts. And I've got some questions for you to answer for yourself. Those are in the workbook as well, but I'm going to share them with you here. What would someone who doesn't know you at all, they happened across your profile, what would that person, what story would they make up about who you are based on those last 20 posts? What would they surmise about who you are? I want you to ask you another question. How far back in time did you have to scroll? You got to post 20. Was that like 2013? Or was that like 10 days ago, right?
Or 5 minutes ago.
Or 5 minutes ago. If you're Tom Chanel, then that's different. No, you're in the middle. You're good.
Thank you.
So how far back did you go? How much of that content was something that showed who you are versus you sharing somebody else's content, whether it was a copy paste, whether it was just resharing a post? And there's a place for that, right? I'm not saying never do that, but if all 20 posts are that, then they can't really see you at all. They're just seeing other people's stuff on your page. So I want you to think about that, and that's going to give you a little bit of a barometer of how well you are showing up. And I'm going to ask you what might be a tough question. Are you worth following? Right now, in your heart of hearts, the way you're showing up, not your worth as a human, I want to be clear about that, but the way you're showing up, are you showing up as someone who is worth following?
Are they seeing the victim or are they seeing the victor? And that's all you have to ask yourself. What is it you're trying to accomplish here? Are you a walking, talking GoFundMe page to send them pity and money? Or are you this person showing your triumph over circumstance and seizing the day in the world because it's the strong you that did it, not a bunch of exterior noise of branding somebody else or something else? Be that product called you. And that's what you guys are learning this week. That is absolutely the secret weapon of all time.
Amen to that. And I'm watching the chat, and I love and I celebrate that so many of you are claiming yourself as the victor, that you're claiming your worthiness of following in the way that you're showing up today. But there's dozens of you, many, many more than that, who are sitting there watching that chat right now and going, well, I'm not going to say that I'm not worth following, but that's how I'm feeling in my heart right now. And I want you to know that you are worth following. You just have to show them. And that's what we're focused on here. And that's what we're focused on over the next 10 days. So I just want you to feel that. I want you to know that. And this isn't about your worth. Your worth is there. It's about translating your worth into your visibility. And that's what we're going to be doing.
And what happened with this merger that we did with NowSite, Adrian and I and Elizabeth, is we saw what you guys have. And we knew that we could put vulnerability, authenticity, and stickiness into it, whereby you aren't treating people like prospects anymore. You're treating them like human beings that are buying you, not it. And that is the game changer of all time. And what I love about NowSite AI is all it's going to do is make that whole thing easier and more you than you are even capable of understanding. We're home. We are the future, and we're going to do this, and we're going to be with you every inch of the way.
Amen. I love that. I love that. So we're going to play one other game here. Because, and I saw somebody in the chat, I think it was Doug, said, I am worth following, my social media is not. And we're going to help with both of those things. But social media is a big part of this. It's not the whole thing. And so we're going to play another game. We're going to talk about this same concept in the way you show up out in the world. So I want you to imagine for a second that you're at a gathering in your local community. I put cocktail party here, but it could be a cocktail party. It could be a networking event.
Cocktail party?
I know, it's fine. Cocktail parties are little, like, appetizers. You're fine. Mocktail party. There you go, Tom.
There we go. Better.
So whatever it is, you're at a local gathering, and you're over here doing your thing. You're talking to somebody, and across the room, there's two people. And one of those people is an acquaintance who knows of you, knows you a little bit. The other person's a complete stranger to you. And for some reason, they're having a conversation across the room, and maybe you do something that catches their eye, and the stranger turns to the person who knows you a little bit, kind of gestures across the room and says, "Hey, who is that?" I want you to think for a moment about what that person would say based on the way that you're making yourself visible, not just online, but out there in the community around you. And I just want you to ask yourself that question of how are you showing up in the world? The big question I want you to ask yourself is, how do you want to be known? Right? Because this comes back to that same thing. Is it a victim story or a victor story? You get to decide how you want to be known and then live into that online, live into that offline. The raw materials are there. No matter who you are, no matter where you've been, no matter what your story is, the raw materials are there. Now it's, how do I shape those into the way that I want to be known? And this is intentionally designed to build on what we talked about on Monday and Tuesday, right? Look back at your notes on Monday. Look at what Cheryl was training on, and look at those notes on what are the things that make you tick, right? What are those things that excite you? Reflect on your hero story and think about what is your exciting mission today, and how do you make that more visible out there in the world? And so what we're going to begin to do is we're going to help you to take that stuff and to create pillars of your brand. Because your personal brand is you. You are able to tap into the fullness of your experience, right? This is why Tom Chenault says, maybe I'm not a network marketing legend at all, but I'm certainly not just a network marketing legend. Here's who I am. And he basically gave you his 3 pillars. And what's really amazing is that I didn't even realize that until just now, because that was totally off the cuff the way you shared that. But he gave you the 3 pillars just because of who he is and how that emanates from who he is, just like we're going to do here in just a second. And the pillars are essential, because here's the thing. If you don't have pillars, if you're everything all the time of who you are, you're nothing.
That's exactly right. And so what I want you to get is, I define myself as a lighthouse. And I really, really do. If you try to get somebody to quit drinking, guess what? You got a problem. They got to swim to the lighthouse, through all the sharks, walk up the stairs, knock on the door, and say, I need help. Try to talk somebody into network marketing. It's exactly the same story. You pull them in, they're not going to stay because you talked them into something, because it wasn't your authentic self talking to them. It was a pitch. And the third part was obviously NowSite AI. I stand here and I am NowSite AI. I am sobriety. I am network marketing. What you see is what you get. But I'm telling you, I didn't come out and convince you of everything or anything. You swam to me. And because you went through that experience, you're ready to listen when you finally knock on the door. Make yourself that attractive with the pillars, and it becomes the game changer of all time. That's what I want to get through, if I can, on this whole branding conversation. One thing I know really, really well is my favorite subject, which is called me. I know me. I know where I stand. I'm not trying to be you. I'm not trying to be it. I'm trying to be an authentic me. And there's a lot of warts that you're going to see when you get to know me. And hopefully you like me in spite of it. What you see is what you get.
There you go. All right, so what are these 3 pillars of your brand? The first one is your unique journey. And so I want you to take if you've got them in front of you, you can look back at your notes from your hero story, or you already have these answers. What are the things that shaped you in your journey? And especially as you look at those things that shaped you, I want you to ask yourself, what makes you more relatable? What are the things that shaped you along your way that might make you more relatable to others if you were willing to share them? And I want you to share some ideas. I want you to write down 3 to 5, and I'm watching the chat here. Military, mentorship experience. Those are the so share these in the chat. I want to hear from you. 3 to 5 ideas, write them down and share a couple things in the chat. What are the pieces of your unique journey that make you more relatable? Boy mom, pilot wife. I love those, right? They're specific, and there are a whole community of people around that. Grandma, easygoing. I love this.
Stop trying to be everything to everybody. Get your 3 pillars. He talked earlier about being a wandering generality, because what we have a tendency to do is try to be one size fits all, and you're out there changing yourself for everybody you happen to meet. And those people can see it behind your eye. You're like a deer in the headlights, because you have no idea who you are. They sense that. They think you have no idea where you're going, and who wants to follow anybody nowhere? But if you've got those 3 pillars set, like in stone, people are going to sense that and say, I'll have what he's having. Just exactly like that movie.
Amen. Amen. Alex Ann hit the nail on the head. She said, don't be a wandering generality, be a meaningful specific. And so as you write these things down, don't be afraid to get more specific, because you are going to speak exactly to those people that share your unique experiences and journey along the way. That's going to help you tremendously. So what's the second attribute? What's the second pillar? It's your unique attributes. It's the things that are special about who you are, that make you unique. Not the journey, but your coding, the people that you are. So I want you to think back to the training from Monday, and I want you to ask yourself, what are your unique strengths and attributes? You remember that we had the example of Grace on Monday, and she was about networking, about empathy, about resilience. Those are the things that shine through in who she is. What are those things about you? What are your strengths and attributes that make you you? One of the things that I think could be one of your brand pillars we talked about before. What's your favorite way of referring to yourself?
Hot mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because I know the fastest way to get related with anybody is to tell one on yourself. And I've got so many things that I can tell one. If I were Justin, movie star, good looking, all that jazz, Harvard, it would be hard. It's so easy for me because I barely got out of high school. So it's just basically, I want to be able to relate to everybody. And the way that I do that is I know I'm 72 years old. And I also know that it's been over 50 years since somebody asked to look at my report card. No one cares how smart I am. They care how nice I am. They care that I love like crazy, then love more. They care that I fire my brain, hire my heart. I don't let anything get in the way of me trying to serve you. And it's worked out, and I want it to work out for you. So lose the con, let them see your heart, and let them deal with whether they like you or not. And when they see the authentic you, they're not gonna like you, they're gonna love you. I promise.
I love that. So spot on. And Karen reiterated something from Monday's training. If you're having a hard time answering these questions, ask people around you, ask people who know you what they see in you. Get some feedback, get some input. That's a great thing for you to be doing with all of this. So
and look at all the things they're talking about Justin's attributes with. I'm not saying, no, oh my God, all I want to be is that good looking and that smart. I'm jealous. That's not how that goes.
We love Justin. That's awesome. Poor Justin. All right. So the third one is your unique interests. And this is where you can have some fun, right? People want to feel like they know you so they can like you and then they can trust you. And you have the opportunity to put that out there. And so this is where you can have some fun. This is where you can share some things that maybe have very little to do with your business as long as they don't contradict it. And so here's an example, right? I have gotten totally hooked on pickleball. I love that stupid game. I don't even know why I love it so much, but it is just like, it is all I want to do these days. And I've started sharing that. And I created a little community where every Monday night at 8 o'clock, after all of us dads put the kids to bed, we go play pickleball at these courts that stay lit until almost 10 o'clock. And that's what we do. But I've started sharing that. And it is so funny because whether or not somebody likes to play pickleball or not, it gives somebody a way of knowing me in a way that's beyond just what I do for a living. Give people that opportunity to know you beyond what you are, what you do for a living, and people are going to have so much fun with you. So I want you to write down.
Go back to that for a second, because there's something important in what he just said. So all these guys in Longmont, all these guys in Denver, they're all coming to town to play pickleball. And they're going there scared to death because they don't know anybody except the point person, the organizer. All of them are saying, who's Adrian? I want to know Adrian. Who the heck is this guy that keeps sending out all this information? And the next thing, the invisible, like everybody else in the crew, became visible because he designated himself as the point man. Therefore he is. And that gave him a measure of visibility, authority, and hopefully fun. So do that, whatever your vibe and your tribe is.
Exactly that. And this is it, right? It's fun. If somebody connects with me on pickleball, we're going to get along because we already have something that I'm really passionate about in common. So show those things so that people can find you. I see, Shelby Mustangs. I see cooking. All these things, right? Put out there what you love, because then you're going to attract people that love the things you love, and you're going to have way more fun in your business as a result.
Yeah.
So you made a list of 3 to 5 under each of these things, right? We can't put all of that out into the world without becoming that wandering generality. And so now our job is to narrow it down. Your job is to pick the most important attribute in each one of those categories and to circle that. And for some of you, maybe you're going to have a hard time narrowing it down to just one, and maybe there's a way where you can combine those two things into a single word. But I want you to ultimately come up with 3 specific things that are going to be the pillars of your brand.
Can I give you guys a relationship tip right now that would just be awesome for you? At the bottom of the chat, you can save the whole chat with those 3 dots. And you've scrolled through this thing and you've seen everybody coming up. I'm even able to watch it and I've only got one eye. But at the end of the day, look at how many people posted things that you've got in common with them that you had no idea. And now you've got a relationship conversation starter with every one of those people that just laid it out on a platter that when you contact them, you've got something in common to start with. It's a beautiful thing. Look for that, because all you want to do is be speaking into what they want to buy, not what you want to sell. And the best thing that you can do is find out what they're passionate about, talk about that first, and you own the conversation, right?
100% right. That's exactly it.
Somebody send me that chat so I've got it.
So this is what's so cool is that Cheryl, they actually can't save the chat themselves, but Cheryl is uploading that in the content for every day.
You guys,
and so you'll have it.
Yeah,
Isn't that cool?
Contact map that in. So what you want to know about Jim Gilhouse is he loves motorcycles in the military. What you want to know about Mo, all these people, you've got a foot forward just by what they wrote. And you take the time to write that down and remember it, and you call Jim Gilhouse in a month and ask him about his motorcycle, and he's going to swallow his cigar and thank you for remembering. Because what you love most about me is what I remember about you. Promise you that.
I love that. And so don't worry about the 3 dots. It'll be on brandme.now.site. But that's the fact that you even knew what the 3 dots were is a minor miracle. So that's pretty funny. Okay. So you're going to narrow this down to your 3 things. And this is so important. Don't sleep on this step, because this is where you get to the key. The key understanding is that less is more. You want to show them the things that you want them to remember about you, so that you're shaping, they go, I see Tom, I think hot mess, I think sobriety, and I think NowSite and network marketing.
Yeah.
Those are the things that's who Tom's brand is, right? You see Adrian, you see relational, you see pickleball, you see entrepreneurship. Those are the things that I want to share about my journey, and those are the things that you're going to see with me. So those are where I focus when I share online. Make sure that it's narrow enough that you're showing people what you want them to see. And you only upstaged one slide at like 20 minutes ago, which is not too bad. Your personal brand is like that lighthouse. Your personal brand is how people who are out there in the choppy water, they don't know what to do. And you are the person who is ahead of them on their journey. You're the person who solved the problem they're still experiencing, and they can look to you, and it's clear because you're allowing your specific brand to shine brightly.
So my lighthouse only has 12 steps.
There you go.
So that's good.
Talk about consistency.
You guys, I am, I look like I'm a train wreck looking for a place to happen, but I am like the epitome of consistency. I mean, I live inside of a regimen called a rotation of remember, where I make sure everybody I speak to, I have them in a database, and I might not have anything to sell them, maybe for years, but I remember something about them on a consistent basis because I know their favorite topic is them. And if I hit them with a note that says, hey man, how's that motorcycle running? I love you, miss you, and what can I do to make your life better? I'm gonna get a response because I came from my heart and I hit them with something other than a pitch, and they're gonna come back one of these days and they're gonna say, Tom, I need something, and I'm probably gonna be able to monetize it, and it's a beautiful thing. I'm gonna monetize it one of three ways: spiritually, physically, or financially. And most of the time, it's all the time, it's one of those three. And it works, I promise all of you. You can do this because I did. And it's worked out, and I want it to work out for you. Be you.
All right. So a miracle has happened. And I wasn't sure it was. We are going to land this plane inside of the hour, which let's just, if you're with me and I don't care how you spell it, put hallelujah in the chat, because I was like, oh, we got a little off track in the early going, and we made it to the end without going over an hour.
We got 13 minutes. Can they ask some questions?
We got a couple more things to cover first. So hang tight.
All
right. So here's the key. Your personal brand can allow your future customers to know, like, and trust you before you have ever even met.
Bang, bang. True story.
Isn't that cool? That's what this can do for you. But in order for that to happen, simplicity and consistency are your keys. Less is more, and show up consistently. That's how that magic will begin to take hold. And I'm so excited because we've got some magic to really seed that magic for you coming very, very soon. So I'm so excited about that. For those of you that are getting the $39 rebate, it is code word time. So the code word for today is brand, B-R-A-N-D. The code word is brand. If you go to brandme.now.site right now, you can get in there and you can go and upload that there and make sure you get credit for today. Your homework is for you to finish narrowing down your personal brand to those three important pillars and to share what those three important pillars are with your accountability partner. If you don't have an accountability partner yet, make sure you get in the group on Facebook. You can pair up with somebody there, and let's make that happen.
I have to say something very, very important that Adrian doesn't know I'm going to say. I don't know what time this thing starts, on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I have no idea. But I will let you know that there will be a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous every one of those mornings that you have to find me, because it's obviously anonymous, and I'll tell you where it is. But wherever I go in the world, I make sure there's a meeting for somebody that's either sober a long time or trying to get sober today. And I just want to let all of you know that one of my three pillars is that, and I hold those three pillars most dear to me because that's who I am. So anybody that's got that going on or knows somebody, don't hesitate to reach out to me, because that is my golf game. I have got a doctorate in drunk. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. We're going to hand it back over to Cheryl. We got an announcement about the timing on Friday that I want to make sure you don't miss, and we're going to get you on your way. Over to you, Cheryl.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If you love these guys as much as I do, drop me a 5 here in the chat. Show them some love. They're amazing. You are the hero, and we're all going to find our 3 pillars today. I'm super stoked. That was incredible, and what a way to end day 3. Look, you can find all the recordings. You can find the code word, all things that you need at brandme.now.site. Speaking of our BrandMe Bootcamp, we have day 4 coming up tomorrow. You can meet me right back here at 12 p.m. Eastern time. But we also have our special live from Vegas event that we are going to do our BrandMe Bootcamp in person. So if you'll be in Vegas, we are going to have a live studio audience. But that is going to take place at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. Okay? So know your time zones. Somebody write it down. It's on our calendar. I will make sure to post about it. I will make sure that we are live. I will make sure that no one misses it. I will make sure that you have the recording, that it's at brandme.now.site. They have all the things that you need and that are necessary. And I will continue to remind you guys inside of our BrandMe Bootcamp Facebook group. Okay? Once again, look, if you loved today, make sure that you drop these guys some love here in the chat. I want them to see it, because we know that Tom's going back and looking at everybody's 3 pillars, don't we? We know he's going to check out this chat. So make sure
I'm mapping your pillars. And one other thing is a gift from God that I forgot to bring up, and he'll hate me forever. But to get to work with your son at this level every day, this long, is something I wish for all of you. So just know that we are the luckiest people in the world, and we love you. So thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Recording stop.